Coming up on this edition of Access Virginia Beach, $24 million. That's the amount needed to balance the city's budget. Find out what the manager is proposing. Plus, the ribbon is cut on a new apartment complex for the homeless. We'll bring you the details. And find out why these teens are dumpster diving. That and more coming up as we access Virginia Beach. Hello and welcome to VBTV's Access Virginia Beach, a program that informs you of news and events from around our city and schools. I'm Lindy. Thanks for joining us. After a 3-year downturn in fortunes, we're starting to see signs of an economic recovery. Still, times are tough, and a lot of families, companies, and even the city of Virginia Beach look for ways to make ends meet. And making ends meet is the theme in the upcoming fiscal year spending proposal.
It's obvious to everyone that we've just come through a very difficult recessionary period in our country.
City Manager James Spoor presented elected officials with his proposed operating budget for the upcoming fiscal year that begins in July. His biggest challenge? Plugging a $24 million gap.
This budget and the CIP maintains our commitment to the community by not cutting police and fire positions. It addresses the backlog of neighborhood stormwater projects. Thanks to the governor's transportation plan, we can finally take real strides in addressing roadway construction.
To balance the shortfall, the city manager's proposed spending plan calls for a 2-cent real estate tax increase, increased personal property taxes, a monthly $10 trash fee, and higher stormwater fees.
Virginia Beach families will pay $12 per month more than they're paying in the current operating budget with the proposed rate and fee increases. However, this is still $50 less than they paid in 2009, and it's still less than they'll pay to live in any other city.
The manager's proposal relies on $14.5 million from the school division's savings to close the gap. City Council has the next few weeks to discuss the manager's proposed budget. If the plan is approved by City Council, employees will receive a 1.5% pay increase.
We look forward to the review and spending the next 6 weeks or so getting public input and having discussion with council as we try to work together to put together the right solution for the community that not only will meet the needs in fiscal 12, but will also set us on a path of being a sustainable, high-quality community for the foreseeable future.
The entire proposed spending plan totals more than $1.7 billion. An open house is scheduled to publicly discuss budget plans on April 6th at the Convention Center. There are also 2 public hearings scheduled for citizen input, April 21st at Green Run High School and April 26th in City Council chambers. The budget is scheduled to be adopted on May 10th. There's a special city page on vbgov.com that offers an explanation of the budget and what it means to you. The school division has been hard at work balancing their own budget, and during a recent meeting, members of the school board approved their proposed spending plan for the coming year.
The primary driver of the budget is the down economy and the impact of reduced revenue at the state and local level.
During a March 15th meeting, the board adopted a $636 million budget. The division's shortfall was more than $18 million, but they were able to close the gap by tapping into their reserve funds, eliminating 48 positions, and planning to adjust class sizes, along with several other cost-saving strategies. The numbers could still change, but now the initial budget is passed. The next step is presenting it to City Council for approval. The final budget is expected to be approved by the 3rd week of May. And here's some good news for school employees. The budget includes a 0.5% increase to their salaries, as well as a 2.5% bonus. More information and the proposed plan itself can be found on vbschools.com. It may be hard to admit, but homelessness does exist in our area, and the city of Virginia Beach cannot solve it alone. But by partnering with the faith community, nonprofits, and other levels of government, we can help end homelessness with projects like the Judeo Christian Outreach Center. City officials and members of the community gathered to celebrate the grand opening of a new apartment complex for homeless individuals.
This is one part of all the things we're doing to help make more opportunities available for homelessness. These are permanent and transitional housing units that will house 22 people initially, and over time, many more.
The complex provides transitional housing for 14 homeless veterans and 8 homeless persons with disabilities. It was a collaboration between the Judeo Christian Outreach Center, HUD, the VA, local organizations, and the City of Virginia Beach.
We were the major grant funder, providing over $600,000 to help build the building, and we helped the Judeo Christian Outreach folks get the project organized and through to completion.
The new apartments give residents like Robin, who was once on the streets, a place to call home.
Well, it helps me in a number of ways. It provides security, peace of mind. It's good to know that I have my own place.
It will definitely leave them with a sense of security and a sense of hope. That this is my home. And that's the whole idea. They're coming home.
Residents will pay rent and have support services available. The goal is to help them transition into permanent housing. The Judeo Christian Outreach Center is located on West Lane. For more information on the city's plan to end homelessness, log on to vbgov.com/housing. We're all entitled to our own opinions, but in a world full of ideas, sometimes they get lost. The city wants to make sure the voices of our youngest citizens are heard through all that noise, so they recently held a special forum. And those voices were definitely heard as middle and high school students from around the city filled the halls of Larkspur Middle School to express their ideas.
The number one issue I would want to talk about is bullying.
I'd really like to see youth voices discussed.
I would love for schools to be a little bit safer.
It was all a part of the Youth Out Loud Tomorrow is Now forum.
Today is all about getting kids to contribute their ideas about what they'd like city government to do, the mayor and city council, how we can impact our communities in a positive way.
Students discussed their concerns and solutions in small groups and then shared their ideas with city and school leaders.
We are having all of the youth write down every single idea and every single solution they can think of today. And eventually we're going to compile it into a youth agenda, and it's going to take a little bit, but we're going to do it, and then we're going to present it to city council, and we're going to say this is what the youth in Virginia Beach think is the issues, and this is how they think we should resolve them.
The mayor's Youth Leaders in Action and the Youth Opportunities team sponsored the forum. More than 130 students attended. Log on to vbgov.com/YOPPS to see a list of all the ideas shared at the forum. Coming up next on Access Virginia Beach. Spring has sprung around the city. We'll tell you about an event that will have you seeing colors. Plus, just what kind of crazy concoction are these students brewing up? Find out next when we return.
Virginia Beach Schools Parent Connection is your one-stop resource for information and events which support families and promote student success. If your child or someone you care for suffers from mental illness, please attend the Virginia Beach Department of Human Services NAMI classes planned for April 14th through May 19th from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. You will learn how to access community resources and learn strategies for helping your child achieve to their maximum potential. The classes are free and open to the public, but you must register by calling 385-0802. Are you interested in learning positive discipline strategies for your child that don't involve yelling, arguing, or spanking? If so, please plan to attend the CHKD Positive Discipline class planned for April 15th, 10 a.m. to noon at the CHKD Health and Surgery Center in Newport News. Register for this free class at www.chkd.org. To learn more about these activities or to see a complete calendar of April events, visit the Parent Connection page of vbschools.com.
Welcome back to Access Virginia Beach. I'm Lindy Fay. April showers bring May flowers, but local garden clubs are hoping that those flowers come even earlier this year, just in time for the Virginia Beach House and Garden Tour. Here's Access reporter Diana Cartwright with the details.
For close to 80 years, the state of Virginia has been celebrating Historic Garden Week, a chance for patrons to check out Virginia's finest homes, gardens, and historic landmarks. And with a multitude of historic gardens sprinkled throughout the city, homes in Virginia Beach are opening up their gates and showing off their springtime colors. Here to tell us more about the event is Beth Holt, chairman of the Virginia Beach House and Garden Tour. Hey, Beth, how are you?
Hi, Diana.
Listen, so tell us a little bit about the clubs that are involved with Historic Garden Week here in Virginia Virginia Beach?
Well, it's actually a joint project of the Princess Anne Garden Club and the Virginia Beach Garden Club, both of whom are in Virginia Beach, and both of whom are members of the Garden Club of Virginia, which sponsors Historic Garden Week. And all of our ticket proceeds actually go right back to the state for restoration projects and preservation of historic gardens throughout Virginia.
That's great. Well, it sounds to me like everybody has quite the green thumb. So I know that the Virginia Beach House and Garden Tour has a big event scheduled for Wednesday, April the 20th. Can you tell us a little bit about what folks will be able to see and do during that period of time?
That's right, Diane. It's a lot more than green thumbs. There's a lot of organization, and we work on this for the whole year. There are 5 homes that are really beautiful and have wonderful yards as well, and special gardens. And all of our members bring in beautiful flower arrangements from flowers and things in their yard, and we filled the homes with these beautiful arrangements, and it's quite a transformation.
Wow, that's great. So I understand historic homes are involved as well. Tell us about that.
Well, there are 5 historic homes. We're very fortunate in Virginia Beach to have so many, and they will also be included in the tour.
From herb gardens to more formal garden settings, it sounds to me like there'll be lots of things to do. So tell me about some of the special events.
Well, there will be lunch for an additional fee of $15. There will be a bird art show.
Good.
And all local original artwork.
Wonderful.
We will also have a boat cruise, which will be an additional $10, which is a huge deal.
That sounds wonderful.
And we also provide shuttles for free and plenty of parking, so we hope that everyone will just drive on down and let us carry them away.
That's great. Well, that sounds like a lot of fun. So where can I get a ticket?
Well, there are 8 outlets throughout Virginia Beach and Chesapeake, and you may buy them at these outlets in advance for $25, okay. Or you may try the website, which is vagardenweek.org.
Thank you so much for all your information, Beth. That was great. Historic Garden Week is considered to be the nation's largest open house. And for more information, you can log on to vagardenweek.org. For VBTV, I'm Diana Cartwright.
All proceeds from the purchase of tickets go to restoration and preservation of the historic gardens throughout the state. The date again for the garden tour is Wednesday, April 20th. And beautiful flowers like the ones you just saw can be found all around the city, especially at Mount Trashmore, where the park recently added some more color to their landscape.
Good afternoon, and welcome to Mount Trashmore Park for the dedication of 50 Oshino cherry trees.
Take a look at these beautiful cherry trees. They are the newest addition to the popular park.
Cherry blossom trees is a symbol of Japan, and we would like to have the celebration and the goodwill friendship between Japan and the United States.
50 trees were planted, and a special ceremony also honored Virginia Beach's sister city, Miyazaki, Japan.
In 2005, we created the Miyazaki Garden dedication. At that time, we planted 100 cherry blossom trees in Red Wing Park. Essentially, it's a continuation of this great celebration between 2 wonderful cities.
Miyazaki and Virginia Beach have enjoyed a sister city relationship since 1992. Calling all dumpster divers. Okay, that's not something you hear very often, but they're really asking for them. Project Green Teens is looking for volunteers to get down and dirty during a dumpster dive scheduled at Mount Trashmore on Sunday, May 1st. Garbage lovers will collect, sort, and weigh items from trash bins, all in an effort to promote recycling. The event is part of the Earth Day celebrations and will be conducted from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on May 1st. Participants must be in grades 7 to 12 and need to register in advance. Log on to vbgov.com/PGT for registration forms and information. Registration ends April 15th. When we return, a local high school celebrates the Big 5-0. We'll bring you the highlights. Plus, do you know the Muffin Man? These students do. Find out what they're learning from him. That's in just a bit. Discover a force in nature that will make your hair stand up on end. ride the tides, and see how the sun can create electricity. See what it took to bring about man's first flight and tap into your magnetic personality. It will be the best time you will ever have. Okay, there is your birthday, but it's fun. Join me, Pilot Lindy, on the next How in the World.
Teachers, are you looking for a way to make history come alive for your students? The Union Kempsville Museum tells the story of the first and only school for African American children in segregated Princess Anne County. Located at the Renaissance Academy in Virginia Beach, the museum contains artifacts from the school's history like old photographs, athletic equipment, and prom queen crowns. Interactive features keep the stories of triumph alive. The school may be closed, but the legacy lives on. Plan a field trip to the Union Kempsville Museum, a story for all people.
Listen up, parents. Got a student graduating in the class of 2011? Have you been thinking about furthering their education? How about funding to help ease college expenses? Well, the City of Virginia Beach Schools Division Scholarship Central can be your wallet's best friend. It's a one-stop shop for all your scholarship needs. The Scholarship Central site offers an easy way to search for local and national scholarship awards. The site lists deadlines, requirements, and application information, and of course, the scholarship amount. Virginia Beach graduates from the class of 2010 accepted more than $26 million in scholarships. That's a new division record, by the way. Now it's your turn to take a piece of the pie. Log on to bbschools.com to search for savings. 1961, 50 years ago. Many important events were happening across the country. The space race was heating up, John F. Kennedy became our nation's 35th president, and Frank W. Cox High School opened its doors for the first time to the students of a much smaller town in Virginia Beach. 50 years of learning for the youth of our community. The first 22 at the old school, now known as Great Neck Middle, and the next 28 at the present school located just down Great Neck Road, was culminated with a week-long anniversary celebration.
Kicking off a week-long series of events celebrating 50 fabulous years at Cox High School. As you know, this is our 50th anniversary, 5 decades of success going back to the opening of our doors in 1961.
Mayor Will Sessoms began the festivities by reading a proclamation on behalf of City Council, honoring the school for its dedication to providing quality education. Later that night, a bonfire brought many old friends and faces together. Wiley French, a teacher and former principal at Cox, reflected on how things were in the early 60s versus today.
It hasn't changed that much. The clientele hasn't changed. The people were good then and they're good people now. Kids that were good, strong, academically oriented kids. I think the biggest thing, I can remember having a committee to decide what proper long pants girls could wear to school. And we had a committee of parents and students and teachers to decide that. And that's a long way from where we are today.
During the festivity, games were played. Students and Falcon, the team mascot, were rocking. The Coquettes were dancing. And cheerleaders got the crowd energized. All celebrating by the warmth and glow from the fire that burned bright into the night. But the bonfire was only the beginning of the celebration.
I can tell you right now, if I hadn't studied the law and hadn't graduated from college and hadn't graduated from high school, I could have never been a state senator.
All week long, alumni guest speakers, including former state senator and Virginia Beach Sheriff Ken Stolley, visited to talk about their careers and what they have done since graduating from Cox.
Well, I think the most important message that I had was that their life is going to be based on the decisions that they make, and that education helps them make the right decision, and that they need to have the self-confidence to fulfill their dreams, but education and making decisions has got to be priority in life.
Posters from each decade lined the halls, providing a history lesson of what life was like for previous generations at the school.
But I do feel that the poster project was important or is important due to the fact that it shows the students' memories from the past 5 decades and how important memories are to sustain the school. It just makes the school be better, learn from the past, and it teaches the students that the lives that those students led are similar to the lives that they lead today.
And speaking of lives they lead today, Nancy Folks, a graduate and 39-year veteran of teaching at the school, summed up her Falcon pride.
I graduated in 1968 from Cox High School, so I was like what does that make me, the 4th graduating class. And I think that the students have strived to be the best. We are, we've been in Red Book magazine, we've been in so many top of the line in athletics and academics and debate, drama, forensics. I mean, I think everybody can just be really proud. I'm very proud of the school.
And just so the viewers out there know, our very own producer, Bill Casey, is an alumni of Cox High School, and he created this story for us. Thanks, Bill. Another reunion for Cox graduates is planned for this summer. Contact the school at 648-5250 for more information. Each year, the Virginia Beach Education Foundation makes a difference through gifts and donations to city schools. This past year, the foundation awarded $100,000 to 93 schools through a series of grants. One of those brought the educational outreach program of the Virginia Air and Space Center to the Renaissance Academy.
There's no pressure again in space because there's no atmosphere in space.
And so began the lesson for these young science scholars. Today's message, cooling off with liquid nitrogen.
We've actually brought the gas, nitrogen, into a liquid form, which is super cooling it down to minus 321 degrees Fahrenheit. And we're using all sorts of different materials. We're using different latexes as well as different metals and different types of spheres.
Hands-on learning and critical thinking are key 21st century skills being taught to students in this lesson.
Nowadays, critical thinking is imperative, and hands-on lessons get them engaged, get them excited. I think as you can see and experience through this demonstration, their faces lit up, and they really get it.
And bring it out. Little frosty, little shiny. Listen. What happened?
Foundation grants help these students think beyond the classroom. It helps them to realize that this is a career choice.
Without the Education Foundation, we wouldn't have these experiences. These programs are very resourceful, but they do cost money that we don't have.
And as with every good lesson, there is always a treat at the end. Ice cream made by the students with liquid nitrogen. Yummy. And the Renaissance Academy was one popular spot. Down the hall, a different group of students were busy measuring, packaging, and labeling some more tasty treats.
All right, guys, so today we're doing the ginger spice muffin mix.
Do you know the Muffin Man?
Remember this for the teachers?
Well, these students definitely do.
Everybody's got their little measurements out in front of them as to how much you guys need to put in every bag.
Thanks to some flour, measuring cups, and a little help from the experts at the Atlanta Bread Company, these future chefs are creating tempting goodies. Multiple classes teamed up to make the muffin mix, including middle school students from the Teen Living program.
Well, this bag is going to be used by the commercial food students who have made some muffin mixes. My students made the bags, and the muffin mixes will go inside the bags, and then the marketing students back at the high school will close them up and tie them and put a tag on that has the directions and what the mix is.
Easy as pie, right? Not exactly. Students are also learning important life skills.
Part of it is just being accurate because, again, baking is a science, and so if somebody puts in too much flour, that recipe may be ruined. So we try to work on accuracy, assembly line process.
This collaborative lesson was all made possible by the Education Foundation.
You know, you start out by giving some kind of money to, you're not sure where it's going to go, so it's really great to see that it's going to something where kids really are learning and are really engaged and seem to be having a good time with it. Yeah, it's very rewarding.
Yes, it's fun because you get to cook and you have an opportunity to learn something.
Once completed, students will give the muffin mixes to teachers during Teacher Appreciation Week. If you would like to see more of these lessons taught throughout the division, contact the Education Foundation and see what you can do to help. You can go online to vbef.org or give them a call at 263-1337. And with that, we've come to the end of our show, but if you've missed something or would like to see it again, you can view this program online. Log on to vbgov.com/eStream, then find and click on Access Virginia Beach. For everyone here at VBTV, I'm Lindy Fay. Thanks so much for watching.